You've probably heard of Stephen Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, right? I mean, it's one of the most famous self-help books of all time. But here's the thing a lot of people miss. It's not just a simple checklist of habits. At its heart, it's really about one huge idea. If you genuinely want to change, you can't just fix your actions on the surface. You have to go way deeper. You have to change the very way you see the world.
I think we've all been there. You feel like you're just spinning your wheels. You try that new productivity tip. You promise yourself you'll be more patient with your family. You put in all this effort, and somehow you just end up right back where you started. It's so frustrating, right? Well, according to Covey, there's a really good reason this happens over and over again.
Okay, so let's get into it. Covey says that for a long time, we've been obsessed with what he calls the personality ethic. This is all the surface level stuff, your public image, communication tricks, positive thinking techniques. It's all about quick fixes. It's an outside-in approach. But he argues that real, lasting success comes from the character ethic. This is the deep stuff, your integrity, your humility, your sense of fairness. It's an inside-out approach. And understanding why this shift from outside in to inside out is so powerful, well, that means we have to talk about paradigms.
So what on earth is a paradigm? This is a concept that really gets to the heart of why changing is so tough. And that line on the screen says it all. It's not what you look at that matters, it's what you see. It's all about your interpretation.
The easiest way to think about it is this. A paradigm is your mental map of the world. It's not the world itself, but it's your personal map of it. And we have these maps for everything. For our jobs, our relationships, our money, even for ourselves. And these maps, whether they're right or wrong, are the source of literally every thought, attitude, and action we take.
To really let this sink in, Covey tells this amazing story. So picture this. It's a quiet Sunday morning on a subway in New York. People are just reading, maybe dozing off. It's super peaceful. And then a man and his kids get on, and the whole vibe of the car just completely shifts. These kids were just running wild. I mean, yelling, throwing stuff, even grabbing things from other passengers. Total chaos. And the dad? He just sits there with his eyes closed, doing absolutely nothing. You can just feel the irritation building in the car, right? Everyone is sharing the same paradigm. What an awful, irresponsible parent.
So, after a while, Covey can't take it anymore. He leans over and says what everyone is thinking. Something like, "Sir, your children are really bothering people. Can you please get them under control?" He's acting completely logically based on his paradigm of the situation.
And what happens next changes everything. The man kind of opens his eyes, looking dazed, and says softly that they just came from the hospital where his wife, their mother, had just died about an hour ago. He says he's in shock, and he guesses his kids don't know how to handle it either.
Boom! In a single instant, that paradigm just shattered. As Covey puts it, his irritation completely vanished. It was replaced by a sudden flood of compassion and a desire to help. He didn't have to try to feel differently. The new information changed his map, and his entire world changed with it. That is a paradigm shift.
And that story is the perfect illustration of what Covey means by living inside out. Trying to just force yourself to be less irritated on the subway, that's working on the fruits, the behavior. But when you understand the real situation, you're tending to the roots, the paradigm. And when you change the root, the fruit changes on its own. This leads to this really useful model. We all want better results in our lives. That's the get. So what do we usually do? We focus on changing our actions, the do. But the whole inside-out idea says the real power, the real leverage for change, is one step before that. It's in how we see the problem in the first place. Change the paradigm, and the right actions and results will follow much more naturally. So, how do we make sure our paradigm, our map, is actually accurate? This is where Covey makes a crucial distinction between principles and values. Think of principles as the territory. They are natural laws, like gravity, things like fairness, integrity, honesty. They exist whether we believe in them or not. They're just true. Our values, on the other hand, are our map. They're our personal beliefs. And as the slide points out, a gang of thieves can share the value of loyalty to each other, but their whole map is wrong because it's violating fundamental principles of society. Real, lasting success only happens when we align our map, our values, with the territory of correct principles. And this, finally, is where the 7 habits come into play. The first 3 are all about achieving what Covey calls the private victory. This is the essential inside-out work. It's about building your own character and mastering yourself first. You have to win the battle with yourself before you can ever hope to build great things with other people. So these first 3 habits are the bedrock. It all starts with habit 1, be proactive. This is the paradigm shift that says, I am responsible for my own life. Then, habit 2 is to begin with the end in mind. You have to know where you're going. You have to define your own personal mission. And then habit 3, put first things first, is where the rubber meets the road. It's about organizing and living your life every single day based on those principles you defined. That's the private victory.
So only after you've done that deep internal work can you really move on to the public victory. And this isn't about being famous or bossing people around. It's about moving from being independent to being interdependent. Understanding that what we can achieve together is so much greater than what we can do alone.
And these next habits are all about that. Habit 4 is think win-win. It's a paradigm that life isn't a zero-sum game. Habit 5 is to seek first to understand, then to be understood. This is so huge. It means really listening, not just waiting for your turn to talk, but trying to see the world from another person's map. And when you do that, you get to habit 6, synergize. That's when you create solutions that are better than what anyone could have thought of on their own.
But you know, mastering these 6 habits isn't something you do once and then you're done. To keep it all going, to make it sustainable, you need the final 7th habit. This is the one that keeps all the others working. Sharpen the saw.
Covey explains this with the old fable of the goose and the golden egg. Production, P, is the golden eggs. That's the result you want. Production capability, PC, is the goose itself, the asset that produces the eggs. True effectiveness is finding the balance. If you get greedy and focus only on the eggs, you'll kill the goose, and you'll end up with nothing.
So sharpening the saw is all about taking care of the goose. And in this story, you are the goose. It means you have to regularly take time to renew yourself in 4 key areas to keep yourself in top condition. And these are the 4 dimensions of you. Your physical self, your body, health, and energy. Your spiritual self, your connection to your deepest values. Your mental self, keeping your mind sharp through learning. And your social and emotional self, nurturing your relationships. Taking time for all 4 isn't a luxury. It's the single most powerful investment you can make in your own effectiveness.
So you see, the 7 habits aren't just a to-do list. They're a complete framework for changing from the inside out. And it all starts with those mental maps, those paradigms, which really just leaves us with one last big question to think about. What one paradigm in your life right now, if you could just shift it, would change everything for you?